Good evening, everybody, and welcome to Simply Cards by Kathi. I'm Kathi Yondas, and I am happy to be here with you today on Thursday, February 22nd. Today, I thought we'd make a fun card, just kind of lighthearted, but it's definitely a card we're celebrating. We're going to use the Jungle Pals, and that's one of the celebrations. I want to say bundle, but it's not really a bundle. You can get the stamps and the dies separately. But it's a really fun bundle to play with. I've just played with it recently. I'll be using it a lot more. And I wanted to be able to share some ideas with you. If you're new to my channel, welcome. I'm so happy you found me. I hope you'll like what you'll see and hit that subscribe button. And if you are with me live or watching me on the replay, I thank you so much for your support and always helping me to grow my channel. So I am going to switch this down and we're going to get started. Now you may hear some noise in the background again because the Goldens are playing with one another. I want to show you the Jungle Pals because it is in here. And here we are. It's in the celebration brochure, and the stamp set you get free with a $50 purchase, and the dies you get with a $100 purchase. So we're going to be using that today. I'm going to be using with the Fern 3D embossing folder and also with a piece of designer series paper that is from Delightful Floral. So let's get started. I chose to use Parakeet Party, and this designer cardstock is going to retire come May because it was part of the 2022-2024 in colors. Hi, Mary. Thank you for joining me. It is rainy and cold here, too. So I have a 5.5 by 8.5, scored at 4 1/4. And just sit back, relax. Don't worry about the measurements because I do have a PDF for you that'll have measurements, supplies, and instructions, and that will be up. You'll have a link right down below in the video description sometime after 10 o'clock tomorrow morning, or you can also find the post with the tutorial on my website, Simply Cards by Kathi. Now I do have a 4 by 5 1/4 piece of basic white, and you can see I went ahead and dry embossed this already using the Fern 3D embossing folder. Since we're using the Jungle Pals stamp set, I thought it would be fun to kind of play off of that design and use something that just really, there we go, just really kind of represents the jungle, and those leaves in that Fern embossing folder did that for me. So I hope you've been having a good week. It has flown by. I can't get over how quickly this week has gone by. And I am a little hoarse. I'm not sure why, but I'm hoping it'll hang on until we get through this video. So here is our layer. Now, using the Delightful Floral Designer Series paper, I chose to use a strip from this pattern, which has the Parakeet Party, and it also is using Pretty Peacock. So we're going to go ahead, and I want to add this right here on the edge because that's my jungle scene. That's what I'm going to play off of to make this card. So I'm going to go ahead and adhere this. I'm using with the multi-purpose glue. You may prefer the tape runner or Stamp and Seal. And let's put this on right side up. And we'll be able to set this off to the side for a minute until we get our little, I guess, animals. Now I'm going to go ahead and we're going to stamp two. We're going to stamp the tiger and we're going to stamp the lemur. Now I actually looked up a picture of a lemur, what they actually look like, so I knew how to color it. They're so darn cute. And they're kind of gray, black, and white, which I thought, but I wasn't too sure at the time. So I thought I would look it up. So I'm just going to stamp this one here. That looks pretty good. I do have a little bit of a smudge here, but it's going to get cut out with a die, so I'm really not worried about it. And then I'm going to go ahead and stamp my lemur so we can get all the coloring done at once. And I hope to give you some tips and tricks that'll help you with your coloring with Stampin' Blends. And let's just stamp him. All right, now I'm using Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And that's important because I'm going to be using my Stampin' Blends. And Stampin' Blends are alcohol markers. So that if I were to use another ink, such as StazOn, which is for watercoloring, it would run. So with my tiger, I thought it would be fun to color him. I wanted it to look as real as possible. So I chose to use wild wheat with lemon lolly. And we're going to mix those colors together. And you know, all too often we think, oh, gee, we can't, you know, we use the light and the dark of the matching colors, but you may not even think to use it with some of the other colors. So I have my light wild wheat, and I'm just going to go in here and add some of my some color to the tail, and then I'm going to come back in with my lemon lolly, and I'm going to use the light, and I'm simply going to go over that and blend it through. And there's going to be some light and dark. Now when you're blending, remember the colors are going to look different right while you're doing it than it's going to look once it dries. So kind of be patient with it. If you don't like the color or you want to add a little bit more color, you can do that once it dries, but give it a minute to dry so you can see what it actually looks like. Now I'm going to take my wild wheat again, and I am going to go with the lighter one here. And I'm going to add some highlights here around these accent marks, and just add a little bit here. And those are going to get blended with my lemon lolly. And I'm just going to bring those in a little bit. So I want them to look as natural as possible. And when I looked up the picture, I know what a tiger looks like, but when I looked up the picture of it, you know, their color does vary throughout, just like a dog or a cat. So let's go ahead and bring in our light. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just color this in, and I'm just going to pull my color through here. So you can see that it's kind of blending. I may go back and add some more because I would like them to be a little bit darker. And we'll see how that works out. Now for his ears, I'm going to go in with the wild wheat and add some color there. So let's do that now. So I hope you have plans for the weekend. And I sure hope, I don't know where you may be. Leave me a note. Hi, Shirley. Thanks for joining in the comments. Because I always love to know where people are that are watching, where they're from. But it has been so nice, and then today just so damp and cold that I couldn't warm up. So here's our tiger. He's coming along, and now let's color the rest of him. Now, you saw me go back in over his head, and you can see that that kind of darkened him up some. I am going to make his tummy a little bit darker, and I'm just going to blend this through. And I'm probably going to go back over his body here once I know he's dry. I love using the blends because you have so many options for coloring. Now for his tummy, I'm going to add a little bit dark up in here. And then I'm just going to blend it through with this. There we go. Okay, now let's let him dry a minute, and let's go to our little lemur. Now the lemur, he was kind of funny to color because they almost look like a raccoon, if you've ever seen them. So the front of their face, their ears are actually dark on the inside. So I'm going to come in here and give him his ears. And then he has what I'm using is the light smoky slate and the dark smoky slate. I'm going to come in and add some light. That was the dark I put in his ears, right around the edges of his ears, because that's kind of how they are. So let's do that. And his little black head is already there. Now there is a small area around his mouth that is almost semicircular that is gray. So we're going to come in here and just color him in. Okay, and now we're ready to do his body. So I am going to take my dark marker, the smoky slate, and I'm just going to add a little bit around here, the top, and a little bit around the bottom. And now we're going to blend those in, and he'll be done. So he is so darn cute, though. Not that I'd ever want to meet one in person, but they are cute, as long as I can see them on a screen. So if you are watching and you're new to Stampin' Up! And you do not have a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and you would like a catalog, just go up to the top and hit that, go over to my website and send me an email with your name and your address, and let me know you would like a catalog, and I will get that in the mail to you. I would love to have the opportunity to earn your business. Now look at him. Isn't he cute, that little lemur? And there's our tiger. So I'm going to stay with the tiger the way he is, except for right in here, I'm going to go back in and add just a little bit more of my lemon lolly. All right, now we're ready to die cut these. So let me show you the dies, because I did not do that when we came on. So the dies have several detailed dies that cut some really cute leaves and flowers in your tree. And then these 5 dies right here are all match the stamps to stamp the images of a sloth and I think it's a toucan and an alligator and the lemur and the tiger. So I'm going to pull out the tiger and I'm going to pull out the lemur. I've already cut some of the other images, and I'm going to show those to you because we're going to put together a card that is truly worth celebrating. So let's, I do use a piece of tape. You can use washi tape or whatever you have that won't stick and pull your paper apart. I'm using Post-it note tape. I find that I can reuse it several times and it still sticks and works. So those are ready to go. And I'm just going to bring in my mini cut and emboss machine. And we're going to die cut these out. Now I'm using plate 1 and both of the number 2 plates. So we're just going to add these in here and sandwich them, and I'm going to run them through and we're going to be good to go. So let's do that now. And I know you're going to hear a click, and I know this is close up for you. All right, so let's see. Here's our little lemur, and here is our tiger. So we can just take him right out here. And I got to snip one little piece of paper here that didn't cut. There we go. All right. So now we're going to put our tiger together, our card together. I did cut a tree. This is from Pecan Pie. And I also cut some leaves. I used the detailed die that we have here to cut the 2 of these. And then I did cut 1 of these for the inside of the card. So we are ready to put this together. So the first thing I'm going to do is put my tree on, and I'm going to put it on right here along the edge. So this is going to be popped up with some dimensionals, but I'm also going to not put dimensionals on the very edges of the boughs or the stem branches. Boughs, stems, branches, all kinds of names here. But just along here, the trunk. And then I'm going to glue those down because they're kind of small and I don't want them to get damaged or rolled up when they are in the envelope. So let's take these off. How many of you have this set? Does anybody have it or have used it? I'm going to add a little bit of glue, so I'm just going to bring in my little glue gun here because of the fine tip. And we're ready to lay this down. So let's move our lemur over. And just going to put it right in here. So there's our tree, and I am going to just gently push those branches down. Now, for the tiger, I'm going to put him right about here. And he's going to be popped up with dimensionals. So let's go ahead and put him on because now we're just putting him all together. So I'm going to grab some dimensionals. I am using regular size, but I've cut them in half, as I often do. And then I'll use some of the minis for on his feet and tail. So I'm going to put one here and another one here. And then I'm going to bring in my minis. This would be a great card for grandchildren or children. Actually, I'm going to be sending this one to a friend. So just it's a fun stamp set. Let's go on over here. All right, we've got plenty on. That stuck to me and not the tiger. All right, so we're going to remove those, and then we are going to pop him up on the card. Now, once I get him up, we're going to use those bigger leaves that I die cut, and we're going to put those in front of him so that it's almost like he's hiding in the jungle. Okay, I love my pick tool for taking those off. So he's going to be right about here. And now we're going to take these two, and these are going to go right in here. So we're going to just kind of bring them down. And I'm only going to put dimensionals on the very bottom because I don't want them to go up on my tiger. I want it to actually look a little bit flowing like grass. So we're just going to do that. So let's pop him up all the way over here in the corner. Oh, there we go. And now we're going to add this one. Now I'm not going to add a dimensional over here because this is going to overlap. So I'll just put a little bit of glue or a glue dot on there. Let's add one here. And let's just grab a little bit of glue and put that right there so that it adheres. So what do you think so far? He is pretty cute, isn't he? And we're going to pop this up right here. So you can see so far, this is, oh, that's not too even. I want those edges to be even. So bring them down. There we go. Now for our greeting, I'm going to use a piece of cardstock. I'm going to go back to the piece we had that we colored on for our, and we're going to stamp our greeting. Now this stamp set doesn't have any greetings, so you use whatever you have from your other stamp sets. I'm using happiest of birthdays from throughout the year for the outside, and I am going to stamp it in the Tuxedo Black Memento ink. And we're going to punch that out with our hexagon punch. Now you can trim it and just put it on there. You can cut it out with a die, whatever you prefer to do or suits your fancy. Okay, so I'm going to bring my punch in. If you're new to using punches, it pops open, and then I'm simply going to slide this in here and kind of even it out. And we're just going to punch it. Now I'm going to pop this up over here with dimensionals also. So because I'm going to use big ones just to save time here. There we go. And then we have a really cute inside too. So we're going to put this right in here, right in the middle, and straighten it out a little bit. There we go. Okay, we'll come back and embellish it. Now for the inside, I have a piece of basic white. It is also 4 by 5.5. So what we're going to do for that is we are going to use our little lemur, and we're going to use the leaf. And I thought I had a piece of designer series paper here, but I'm going to go ahead and cut just a strip. So let me do that. And I'm going to cut a 3/8 inch strip of designer series paper just to put across the bottom. And so it's going to be 3/8 by 5 or 4 1/4, or 4 inches actually. I cut mine a little big. So I want more of the color, so I'm going to use that end, and we're just going to glue this down. And then I'll just trim off the excess. All right, so we're there. Now we're going to pop this little one, this leaf. I don't usually use dimensionals in my inside, but this one I'm going to glue down, but I am going to pop up our little lemur. So let's do that. And I'm just adding a little bit of glue here, and I'm going to put this on an angle. And now we're going to bring in our lemur and add a few mini dimensionals and put him on the inside. I think he's so cute. So if you are enjoying today's video, please consider giving me a thumbs up. It helps me grow my channel. And again, if you're new, hit that subscribe button, and you'll get notified when I go live or post a new video. I'm almost always live. I'm just cutting a small piece out here for his paw, because I end a piece for his tail, because I don't want those to get smashed or bent because they're not adhered to the card. So let's take these off, and we'll put him on, and we'll stamp our inside, our sentiment. I'm going to put him right here like he's prowling the jungle. And then, whoops, I'm using a stamp from So Sincere that says, "Hope your day is a happy one." So let's ink that up, and we'll stamp that. And then we'll add some embellishments to the front of our card. All right. So all right, so let's put this on the inside. There we are. Let's just straighten that out a little bit, which is why I use the glue. It allows me to slide. So look at the card. Let's add some embellishments. I'm using the 2022-2024 in colors because Parakeet Party was is one of the in colors for them. And again, it is going to be retiring. So I'm just going to bring one up here. And let's put one here. And we're going to go down here, I think, with the other one. So here's our card. The happiest of birthdays with our little tiger. And then open it up inside and hope your day is a happy one. So let me bring you back to me. So I hope you enjoyed the card. It's an easy card. It's fun. There is a fair amount of die cutting, but it's just so different than the flowers and that, and just a cute overall card. So I hope you have a wonderful weekend. Shirley, you're from Yorktown. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for joining. I'm glad you like it. It is a cute card. So I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please give me a thumbs up. I will have that link for the tutorial with measurements, supplies, and instructions ready for you tomorrow by after 10 a.m. I hope you have a safe and healthy weekend, and I'll be looking forward to being back with you on Monday at 7 o'clock. Have a great weekend, everybody, and take care and stay well.